I'll try to keep this as short as possible. So my ex, 25F, and I, 27M, had our son back in 2019. She went through extreme postpartum depression, but refused professional help. Eventually, after our son was 2, it got to a point where she would yell and scream at me in front of our son, never at our son, so we split up and we signed a custody agreement where a judge decided she gets her 3 days a week, I get her 4. She moved in with her parents and we played metaphorical volleyball with our son, bouncing him between 2 families. Our son did not like this. He was acting up more than ever. Luckily, his mother started therapy, no meds, and was apparently better. After half a year of her showing improvement and her begging for us to get back together, I agreed to it, and we were a family again. The custody agreement was always still in effect, even after getting back together. 4 years and years since then. Everything seemed great. Minimal to no fights, no swearing in front of our son, and we were having fun times as a family, going to parks and beaches and teaching him to use a bike recently. We had seemed fine up until about halfway through last year, where my ex seemed to become distant. I asked her what was wrong but got nothing. Life continued on, her never saying what was with her change of behavior. 2 months ago she announced she was done with the relationship and moving out, and that the decision was final. Apparently I wasn't helping out enough around the house, despite me being the source of income / paying 90% of all the bills and her being home almost all day every day, and she just never told me this was making her unhappy. Apparently she already had planned it and found a friend in another state to move in with. She also made it clear she was not going to be taking our son with her or anything, and would merely visit once a month and do phone calls every night with him. She said it was only temporary, and that after a few years or so she'll be back and continue splitting custody as we used to. I kept trying to convince her not to leave, but she'd say the damage is done. You can't undo trauma. I kept pestering her as to the real reason she was leaving. I'm assuming she's been cheating. But she finally one day claimed, to be honest, many years ago you sexually assaulted me while we were drinking. You rubbed my thigh and I asked you to stop, then a few minutes later you did it again. Ignoring the fact that I would never say something like that, I have many other reasons not to believe this. If that happened, why would you stay in a relationship with someone like that for years or not say anything? I'm also vehemently against alcohol as a concept. Plus, if you think I'm that horrible of a person and would do something like that, why would you abandon your son with that kind of person? It doesn't make sense. She also says she has no proof, but refuses to ever fix our family unless I admit to it on recording. Sounds like she just wants legal blackmail against me over something I haven't done. The sudden revelation of this event only when we're in a custody battle speaks for itself. Regardless, I have since contacted lawyers. Due to her moving out of the state already without requesting permission to move from a judge, she has gone against the custody agreement hardcore and is considered having abandoned our son. I'm guaranteed by the lawyer to win full custody and the ability to choose my ex's visitation privileges. He's been through these types of cases many times, and apparently she's already lost due to her own actions. It's just a matter of when the judge will assign him to me full-time. The thing that may make me an asshole, though, is that I'm leaning towards not letting her mother visit due to how she has handled all of this. Sudden abandonment of our child, falsely accusing me of something abysmal, and almost certainly cheating with whoever she moved states for. That's not somebody who should be an influence on my son's life. Who knows what kind of horrible things she'd tell our son to try to cause discourse between us. I know this is above Reddit's pay grade, but some outside opinions / perspectives may help. WIBTA for declining my ex's visitation rights?